The vast majority of us are never taught about credit cards. We wrongfully go and open our first credit card, charge a bunch of money on that card, make only the minimum payments, and repeat the cycle, only to find ourselves years down the line up to our eyeballs drowning in credit card debt trying to stay afloat. And then we view credit cards as this evil financial anchor holding us back. Whereas the top 1% view credit cards as just another tool in their financial tool belts meant to help them get a leg up in life. And instead of having to owe the credit cards interest, they instead make those banks pay them. It might sound a little bit unbelievable, but that is exactly how the top 1% exploit credit cards to their advantage. And in today's video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly how you can do the same without having to have been born with the silver spoon in your mouth. And if I haven't met you yet, hi, my name is John of John's Finance Tips. This is a channel we dedicate to talking all things money, making, saving, investing. In today's money topic, how can we take advantage of credit cards just like the top 1%? And as always, if you'd like to support my channel, I have some top offers for cards in the description box down below. Let's get into it. 1, they don't pay late fees. So here's what the poorest do. When they miss their credit card statement, they go, oh no, I missed my credit card statement. Oh no, there's a late fee. They pay the late fee. Here's what the 1% do. Oh no, I missed my credit card payment. Oh no, there's a late fee. Let me call the bank and ask them to waive the late fee. Folks, this one is probably the easiest thing. It does require you to do something, which is call the bank. But admittedly, I've missed a payment or two here or there, and it was as simple as just picking up the phone and calling and having them waive the late fee. Number 2, lost item protection. What happens when a known person loses an item? They just assume either the item is lost forever or they have to buy it again. What happens when the top 1% loses an item? Well, for one, they purchased it with a credit card, and most likely they purchased it with a credit card with purchase protection that covers them for items that are damaged, stolen, or lost. For example, an American Express Platinum card. And they know that they can file for a claim for up to $10,000 per item within 90 days of purchase, and they can file up to maximum of $50,000 of claims in a calendar year. That is insane. Imagine you bought AirPods. Imagine you were running with your AirPods and one of them fell out and you lost it. Most people are like, SOL, I gotta get another set of AirPods. However, the top 1% are like, oh great, I'll just go ahead and file a claim with my American Express Platinum that I used to purchase AirPods, and they're gonna go ahead and American Express is gonna reimburse them, the top 1%, for the lost item. Number 3, they earn a lot of points. Everyday people think that the only way and the best way for them to earn credit card points is through spending money. So they think that when a credit card gives them 2%, 3%, or even 5% cash back on item, that's incredible. But the fact of the matter, if you're spending to save points and then you want to take those points and redeem for, let's say, something like a free trip, that's never gonna happen. Instead, the top 1% understand to get a lot of points, they are gonna go after big sign-up bonuses. So those are the things that say, hey, you can earn 75,000 points after you spend $5,000 in 3 months. You can earn as high as 175,000 points if you spend $8,000 within 8 months. It's not the, okay, I'm gonna get my 2% cash back for dining. That's not moving the needle. And folks, right now there's actually a couple cards with super elevated sign-up bonuses. 2 that I would highly recommend folks to look at are either the American Express Gold or the Platinum. So the American Express Gold has this public offer, which honestly isn't that good. I think it's like 60,000 points after $6,000 to spend within 6 months. However, there's a way more elevated non-public offer that's going as high as 100,000 points for the same amount of spend over the same time period. And honestly, it's one of my favorite kind of eating/dining cards currently out on the marketplace. The other card you want to look at is the American Express Platinum. Again, similar to the Gold, where there's a public offer that's like not that great. It's like 80,000 points if you spend $8,000 in 6 months. However, there's a way more elevated all-time high non-public offer going as high as 175,000 points for the same spend over the same time period. Definitely find that offer. Now, if you're interested in either of those non-public offers, go ahead in the description box. I do have a link to both of them. Don't sleep on it and do what the top 1% do. Get massive sign-up bonuses, not just earning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% cash back. Number 4, they get paid to have credit cards. What the common person does is they either get no annual fee credit cards or credit cards that maybe have low annual fee, like $95, and they pay that. And they think, you know what? I think the benefits justify the annual fee. What the 1% do, they realize there are plenty of very good credit cards out there that give you enough benefit that the card effectively pays you money. I'll give you 2 examples. one of which is called the Capital One Venture X. This credit card has a $395 annual fee, which to the common person is mind-blowing. Nearly paying $400 for a piece of plastic is crazy. However, the top 1% read a little bit closer into this card and they realize, wait, this card is going to give you a $300 travel credit and a $100 anniversary credit every single year. So they have to pay $395 annual fee, but they get back $400 worth of total credits. They're effectively getting paid $5 for this card, and that is why the 1% have absolutely flocked to this card, whereas everyone else has been sleeping on it because they can't get over the fact that it's a $395 annual fee. Now that's just getting paid $5. And there's another card that's giving you even more money back into your pocket, well over, in some cases, $500, $800, almost $1,000 just to have the card, and that is the American Express Platinum. It has an eye-watering annual fee of $895, which I agree is insane for a piece of plastic, but it does offer you credits. Specifically, there's a $400 Resi Dining credit, there's a $300 digital entertainment credit, there's a $200 Uber credit, a $600 hotel credit, a $100 credit to Saks, a $300 credit to Lululemon, and as you can see, the more that we add up and the more that they're able to take advantage of, because remember, these are the top 1% and they're spending in these categories, they're getting paid to have this ultra premium credit card. And like I said earlier, this card right now has a non-public bonus going as high as 175,000 points. And oh yeah, this card also is giving you that return protection we mentioned earlier. You kind of see how the 1% really know how to exploit credit cards to their benefit, whereas the rest of us are just kind of like, wow, that's kind of an expensive credit card. I don't know if I want to do that. But to them, it's an absolute no-brainer. Number 5. Multiple bonuses. Everyday people like you and I might just think, hey, if you get a credit card and you get a bonus, you shouldn't ever be able to get another bonus again because you've already gotten it. But what the 1% realize is that there's terms and conditions, and oftentimes in the fine print, it actually says you can get the bonus again and again and again. And so, remember earlier how I said the whole name of the game to get the most benefit from credit cards is for them to get big sign-up bonuses? It's to get big sign-up bonuses multiple times. And oftentimes in credit cards, there's a little blurb that says if you've gotten this bonus within the last 24 months, you're ineligible. Well, what if it's been 25 months? If you've gotten this bonus in the last 48 months, you're ineligible. What if you got it 49 months from now? You see, it's really going in and reading the fine print and not just kind of accepting what seems obvious, because oftentimes, especially in the financial world, what seems obvious is not that obvious. Number 6, elite status for free. What the everyday person thinks of when they think of elite status is they have to spend a lot of nights staying at a hotel or spending money at a hotel, and then they eventually get recognized for being an elite status, a frequent traveler, and they get upgrade benefits. What the top 1% realizes, they can just sidestep that entire process and get a credit card that's just going to automatically give them elite status. They can be cards specifically issued by that hotel program, such as the American Express Bonvoy Brilliant, giving you platinum status, or the Chase IHG card giving you platinum status, or they could get the American Express Platinum that gives you gold status for both Marriott as well as Hilton. And so just by having the credit card, they don't have to play the game of staying here, staying there, and they get recognized with elite benefits. That is just the craziest hack. What do you mean you've actually never demonstrated loyalty, but yet we're gonna treat you like a loyal customer because you have a piece of plastic? Think about it, folks. Number 7, 90% plus discounts on flights. The everyday person assumes to find discounted flights, they either have to book super far in advance or they have to fly Frontier or Spirit. No knock on Frontier or Spirit. What the top 1% realizes, if they want to get discounts on flights, all they need to do is use their credit card points and miles effectively. Instead of having to pay $5,000 to fly business class from New York over to Paris in Air France business class, all they need to do is go ahead and use 50 or 60,000 miles that they can transfer over from Chase or American Express to the Air France program and make that same booking and pay $100 to $200 in taxes and fees. Think about this. Would you rather pay $100 to $200 in tax and fees or pay $5,000? And what's even better about that is you don't have to fly on Frontier or Spirit to get the discount. You're flying on premium airlines in full lie flat beds, champagne, caviar, fine dining, all the works, and yet you got it for well over a 90% discount in most cases. Number 8, cell phone protection. This is something we've all encountered. We have a phone, we're out walking, we drop it, crack the screen. Oh no, did I have insurance? Oh no, I don't. Oh my gosh, my phone screen's cracked, I have to replace it. That's what everyday people do. The top 1% realize that, hey, I just dropped my phone. But you know what I did instead? Because I'm the top 1% and I like to exploit my credit card benefits, I paid for my cell phone bill with my credit card. And my credit card offers me cell phone protection. Folks, this is available on a lot of credit cards, so make sure you check yours. All you need to do is pay for your cell phone bill. And oftentimes there's a deductible, whether it's $50 or $100, and they cover, I think as high as I've seen $800 per phone. And this actually happened to me once when my sister broke her phone. All I did was go to American Express, file a claim, and they took care of the rest. Number 9, airline lounges. When the everyday person shows up to the airport, one, they're always way too early because they think they're gonna miss their flight. And because they're so early, they've got a ton of time to kill. However, they don't really want to go eat at an expensive restaurant, and so they still end up getting some overpriced cold cut sandwiches, and they just go plop down by the gate where likely the seats are not that comfortable, the Wi-Fi signal's kind of crappy, and there's no place to charge your phone. The 1% instead stroll into the airport, probably a little bit later because they've got quick access through security, and they go to an airport lounge for free. And in these airport lounges, there's free food, free booze, very good Wi-Fi, day beds, showers, some places offer massages, and all of this for them is complimentary. Whether they're flying in basic economy or business class, they still get to use these services. How? By way of their credit card benefits. And these would be from cards like the Capital One Venture X, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the American Express Platinum. These cards get you these elite lounge benefits, and yet you don't have to be spending a ton of money on the flights whatsoever. Number 10, return protection. When you and I buy an item and we don't like the item, we go and return the item. However, if we return the item outside of the return window, we can't return the item. What the 1% have figured out though is by exploiting their credit card benefits, they can instead go ahead, purchase the item, decide maybe they don't want the item, and even if it's outside of the store's return window, they can go and file a claim with their credit card company because that credit card offers return protection. And some cards offer return protection up to 90 days or 120 days from when you first purchased the item. So even if the retailer doesn't take it back, you file the claim with the credit card company and they will then go ahead and issue a credit back into your account. I mean, think of the peace of mind, especially for places like Apple, where I believe it's a 2-week return policy. That's extremely restrictive. Like, what if in the 2 weeks I'm like, you know what? I don't like these headphones, or I don't like the iPad Pro, whatever it is. What if I just don't like the thing and I can't return it? That sucks. But actually, no worries. I put on a credit card with return protection. I'm good to go. Number 11, car rental insurance. The everyday person goes and rents a car. When they get to the pickup counter, they get upsold on the insurance and they think, you know what? It might as well peace of mind. The top 1%, when they rent a car, they know that car rental protection already comes with their credit card. So when they get upsold at the counter, they just say, no thank you, I've already got it covered for free from my credit card. Well, as an example, the Chase Sapphire Reserve is one of the first cards that I remember having that had this benefit. It was amazing just knowing like, hey, can't upsell me because I've already got coverage. Number 12, free Ubers. The normal person pays for the Ubers. The top 1% exploits their credit card benefits, and guess what? They get free Uber credits. And it's not just Uber, though Uber is probably the one that most of us use. Lyft is in there as well. I mean, folks, when you are at the top 1% and you're exploiting your credit cards, you're getting so many things thrown at you for free, and yeah, rideshare credits is one of them. Number 13, they close their credit cards and yet still have 800 plus credit scores. The everyday person assumes wrongly that they should never, ever close any credit card ever. The top 1% understands that, hey, they just have to keep their first card open and they can close the rest of them. Folks, I've opened well over 70, probably 80 credit cards at this point. I only have about 10 or so open, which means I've closed 60 credit cards. My credit score hovers between 845 and a perfect 850. You can close credit cards, just not your very first one. Number 14, and this is the last one I'm gonna round you out with. They don't pay their credit card bills on time. The everyday person assumes that the day that you're supposed to pay your credit card bill is on the due date. The top 1% understand that actually, the day that you should pay the majority of your credit card bill is right before your statement close date, which typically happens 25 to 30 days before the due date. Because by doing so, you can actually instantaneously boost your credit score. Now, if you wanna know how, then you're gonna wanna check out this video here that shows you how just by making your payments on the right date, you can actually boost your credit score. Cool, folks, this has been the video. Hopefully this has been a good one for you. If you have any comments, questions, drop it down there. And if you think I might have missed anything or another way that the top 1% are exploiting their credit cards that we didn't discuss, feel free to drop it down there as well. As always, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!